I'm Allie G. Welcome to the Stream.tv, and we're here at the Girls After Show. Wow. Woo-woo. What a crazy show. Join us on YouTube right now. Join the conversation, write your questions, and get involved, man. Yeah. I'm here with my beautiful co-host.
Hey, I'm Candy Washington, and I'm so excited to dive in on tonight's premiere episode of Girls. Don't forget to tweet us with #GirlsAS for questions.
And to my right...
Hey guys, I'm Allie Miller, not to be mistaken with Allie Gasparian, and I too am so excited to talk about this episode. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Holy sex scene.
Right?
I know.
What the heck? That was crazy.
Yeah.
It was super interesting to see Marnie that sexualized. Like, I had never seen her so exposed and just out there, and he was literally like diving in. Thank you HBO for that.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. I know. I was kind of like, Marnie, get it in. But then I was like, oh no, Desi has a girlfriend. This is totally wrong. Marnie, what are you doing again?
I know. Well, before we talk about Marnie, let's talk about Adam and Hannah and their relationship.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think their relationship is like right now?
Right now, I actually felt Adam didn't really want to be with Hannah anymore, and he was kind of going through the motions. Like, especially when he first came to dinner with the parents, and he was just like really rude to her and had that really random quote about, this is the first step of many random steps.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and Adam's a jerk.
Yeah.
Then he had these sweet moments where he was like, I just want to be amongst your things. And I was like, oh, Adam, you're so dreamy. I love you.
Right?
But I think he's just kind of biding his time before she leaves, and he's kind of gonna, ghost and disappear on her. That's kind of what I think.
I mean, I still think he's in love with her. I think he's just really sad. I think he really wants to be with her, and Adam deals with things in a very different way than the normal person.
This is true.
So
they all deal with things very differently than normal people.
They're all so bizarre.
Let's just put that out there right there.
They're so amazing, but so bizarre.
Yeah, so bizarre. It's insane. Yeah.
And Adam's has gone through such an evolution. Like, what do you think? Like, from seeing the first season, how he was in the first season, to now, like, how has he changed?
He's changed so much. So at the beginning, the first season, he is almost this bizarre monster of a guy. when he's having sex, it's totally bizarre with like the scenarios that he puts everybody in, and
you don't know if he's gonna be a serial killer. Like, you don't know,
right?
What's gonna happen?
Exactly. And now I feel like he's a little more adult, and his sex life with Hannah is very different. I know that they addressed that last season. And I don't know where he's going to go from here. I think he obviously has a career to protect, being on Broadway, but now he's in, depression medication advertisement.
He's a very serious actor now. Very serious.
I think he's a really good actor. Like, I think he could become famous. Like, I think that's a potential for the storyline.
Right.
He seems to have a really good agent. But yeah, I think I kind of liked Adam more when he was super weird.
Yeah. I mean, he's his own worst critic, for sure. Anything he does, he seems to hate it. And that could be his downfall, for sure.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting, I feel like Adam now is like the opposite of the Adam before, because before he like didn't care what anybody thought.
Yeah.
He was like, screw the man, I don't care. And now he's all like in his feelings, like, well, they cut out like the good parts of my, commercial, and like I look in the mirror and I want to change my forehead. Like, now he's totally commercialized and superficial.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny to see like how he's changed from the beginning to now. He's like a different person.
He's really changed the most, I think, out of every character.
Yeah, and even their sexual position, they're doing like missionary. I was like, Hannah, I'm bored. I was like, I'm bored with you, Hannah. She's like staring at the ceiling, like looking down, like, are you done yet? And I was like, are you done yet?
Well, I'm interested to see, who she meets at grad school that maybe, strikes her fancy.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
an
think,
interesting point.
Something might happen.
Yeah.
I bet she meets a girl.
Ooh,
Why not?
Look at that. That would be
Why not?
amazing.
I mean, she's in Iowa.
Love
she's
that.
getting MFA. I would go girl if I was in that situation. Why not?
Right?
She might go. Girls going girl.
Although to speak to that point, I feel like they've almost gotten away from her experimental phase.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That could be a little twist.
Yeah.
Lena, if you're watching, let us know. Are you going girl?
We're totally fine with it.
Yeah.
And so let's see. The second topic we have is Marnie and Desi. Okay. I know we have a lot of feelings about Marnie. Is she a rotten person for hooking up with a guy that has a girlfriend?
Oh, I mean, I think she's rotten because of what she did to Shoshana, like sleeping with Ray behind her back. I think that was just like #1 girl code. You do not do that. You don't sleep with your friend's ex.
For sure.
And then she goes on to sleep with Desi, who has a girlfriend, and then she's like so fake to the girlfriend's face, like,
Yes.
oh, I'm sorry too, Clementine. I'll see you later, girl. And I'm like, you are the worst girl ever.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
But obviously she's like hurting inside and feels empty and abandoned by Charlie. But at the same time, like take his Xanax, get a therapist, like, you know what I mean? Like join Soul Cycle.
Right.
And get over
Get
it.
your stuff together.
Get it together. Get it together, honey.
She's had an interesting ride. You know, she's started out Little Miss Perfect.
Yeah.
She had everything going. She's beautiful. She's smart. She had a great job. And then everything fell apart. And, you know, she just has made some really horrible decisions. And, you know, you're just wondering, like, and I know she wants attention.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think?
I think post Charlie has been a whirlwind, and I think the common theme amongst all these characters is self-destruction.
Yeah.
Huge,
Huge.
which is why it's so
Major.
entertaining. I mean, my God, don't we all self-destruct at some point?
Especially, I mean, as
But-
women in our
Yeah.
20s, like that is so standard.
That's why
you
the
know?
show is so immensely likable. These
Yeah.
characters are exactly like my friends and I, maybe a little weirder. But a little weirder. But
I mean, I think we're just as weird.
only
but-
a little
I mean, you know,
Only a little
they have
bit.
their quirks though, which
Smidge.
is amazing to
Only
have.
because it's documented.
Yes, yeah, thank God ours are not documented, my God. But I think post-Charlie is rocky for her. So she's trying to find male attention anywhere she can get it.
Yeah.
And I think for some women, Marnie, you know, especially, she will go after a guy with a girlfriend because it's already been validated that he's wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's a very
so
good point.
it makes her, you know, an easy target.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Desi? I don't even know how I feel about him, and I think he's like, you know, he's adorable, but he's kind of got this weird
I'm with you.
sort
Yeah.
of feel. I have a weird feeling about him. Like, he hasn't really shown much of his personality.
I like Desi because I think he's really cute.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, you can sing these songs anytime, Desi. But I think his character probably has a secret that's going to come out because he is
I
kind
agree.
of dark. He kind of just like came out of nowhere, and then he has like the girlfriend, and so I think there's something underneath there. He's probably connected to someone in a way that we don't know yet. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what will unfold for his character throughout the season.
Absolutely, me too.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, do you think, is he going to leave his girlfriend?
No, they never do.
They did. Yeah, they never do.
No, they never do.
They never do. No, poor Marnie.
Oh, please, poor Marnie. Are you crazy? No,
I'm always the one that stands up for Marnie.
Girl code. What are you doing?
I know, I totally did it myself.
No, I mean, I think I'm the only one out of us that likes Marnie. Like, I don't know. I think she's going through a phase of being rotten. I don't actually think that she's a rotten person.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think none of them are like rotten to the core, but I think she's doing a lot of rotten things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which, you know, every girl in their 20s does.
To a certain extent. To a certain extent.
Well, I really hope I see, you know, in this season her sort of starting to make better decisions. And
I think that'll happen.
Yeah.
I think some guy will come along and he'll be a new, twisted, quirky character that we'll fall in love with. And God willing, he won't have a girlfriend. My God, right?
Yeah.
let's hope
Enough
so.
of that.
Yeah.
We're done.
I want Charlie back.
I know.
I know. He's
I
not
want-
coming back.
No, I know he's not coming back.
Ever.
but-
Sorry.
I know.
Bye,
Hopefully
Charlie.
get someone like Charlie.
Yes.
So let's also talk about Shoshana and Ray.
Right.
This episode was really cute for them. You know, the way they ended last season, you know, she wanted him back and had broken his heart.
Yes.
And he said, no, you're not going to have me back. And you respect Ray for that. But you felt kind of like, you sort of had like an icky feeling at the end with their relationship. And this episode, it was really sweet.
Yeah, it was.
Sweet. I love how he like held her extra long when they were hugging at the end. And I was just like, oh my God, please kiss her. Please get back together.
Right?
Please. Like,
How'd she end it? Later, Gator.
Yeah,
Later, Gator.
They're just so I was like,
awkward and nerdy.
so cute.
Awkward.
And she was just like, I just want to apologize. Like, I'm really sorry. I like made you my boyfriend, and like that wasn't okay. And he's like, thank you for saying these things. And I was like, yes, thank you for saying those things. They were so cute.
They're really cute. And Ray was really sweet. You know, I think there's definitely gonna be something happening with them.
I think so too.
In
a
this
little
right.
kindling of the flame.
Exactly. And I think almost the tables have been turned because last season, Shoshana, her main concern with him was that he didn't have a job, his career path was all over the place. This season, they're teasing all over the place that she's on a job hunt that is not coming to fruition.
She can't get a job.
She can't.
Yeah, nothing.
It's so ironic.
So the tables have been turned, and I think maybe she's seeing that in him, like,
It's not all
it's
about
not
all
easy.
about that,
Yeah,
and it's not easy. Yeah.
So, I think they'll get together.
Valid point. I hope so. Maybe he'll give her a job.
Oh
my God! What if she
great.
was like his little assistant? Done.
I would honestly die if she was
I
my
would
assistant.
die. She would be like on point.
As much as I love Shoshana, I find her so annoying sometimes.
Type A.
She's
She's
so.
the
I know you're Shoshana obsessed.
I like Shoshana. She's like really cute and quirky. I love her.
Shoshi.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't. Her voice, man.
Everything.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see what happens to them this season, and we're all rooting for them.
Yeah.
So
I want them
I'm going to be
together.
bold here, and I'm going to say engagement. End of season, Ray shows engagement.
Really?
Yeah.
There
Right?
needs to be an engagement.
Well, there was this weird Jessa to that bizarre
She was
man.
weird to that guy who was
For a
like
quick
Wall
minute.
Street or something.
John Thomas?
Really
Right.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
John?
Thomas
Yeah,
John.
Thomas John.
So yeah, no, I am going to put my money on engagement for them.
Wow.
That would
There
be
you go.
fabulous.
But if
I
we're
think we'd all
going-
be.
Engagement. What about a pregnancy scare?
Ooh.
Right?
We had
What
one.
about-
We had one. We had Jessa, pregnancy
Yes,
scare.
we did have
and then she was in the
Jessa.
bathroom stall having sex with that guy, and
that's
then
right.
no longer needed the abortion.
I think there needs to be more pregnancy scares.
I think so too.
There needs to be more.
There needs to be more moments
something
where
a
we're
woman
like,
has never said before.
Fair.
Oh man. So the next topic we have is Jessa. Speaking of pregnancy scares,
Right.
what do you think is going to be happening? This season for her. We didn't see too much of her this episode, but will she go down a path of self-destruction or just plain destruction? Because she's just destructs.
Yeah, everything in her path.
Every episode.
She just destroys things.
So yeah, what are we gonna see from her? And like her and Hannah's relationship, at the end of last season, I thought like even though they were upset at each other when Hannah came to pick her up from rehab and Hannah was upset at her, I still felt like they had the strongest relationship. And now I don't necessarily know if that's the case. I mean, she was very rude and hurt this episode.
But I don't think that means that they're not close. I think that means they're even closer. Because I think given Jessa's character, she's typically like lashing out. So instead of saying, I miss you and I'm really sad you're leaving and I love you that my friend, she turned into like bitch mode and was mean and like cold and just sort of being like, well, you made me leave rehab and come to New York and now you're like leaving me, how dare you?
Right.
So that's like typical Jessa. Instead of saying, these are my feelings, I'm gonna work through them, I'm gonna totally do the opposite of what I should do and just like self-destruct and ruin this friendship.
Yeah.
So I think that's typical Jessa, and I would predict that she's gonna be the first one to go visit Hannah in Iowa. I
that'll
bet
be
she
crazy.
goes and like
They're gonna
party and just be like this huge distraction, and then Hannah's gonna flunk out or something to make her come back to New York with her.
That would be great. I mean, as much as I'm supportive of Hannah going and getting her degree, like I want her to be back in New York.
Yeah,
like, she belongs in New York.
Absolutely.
What do you think about Jessa?
I don't think she's going to self-destruct this season. I actually think the opposite's going to happen, and here's why. I think the reason she got mad was because everybody has their own thing going on now. She doesn't have anything going on. And I think she feels like a mess, and I think that's why she got mad. She's kind of angry that her best friend is kind of getting her shit together.
Right, and not mess with her.
And so she's looking at herself, and I don't think that's something she's used to doing. So I think she's gonna get it together this season. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope she does. I really do, because I really love Jessa. I think, as crazy as she is, and as, all the trouble that she gets into, I also have a soft spot in my heart for her, because I feel like she's been through a lot with her family, and she is a lost soul, but she's also a free spirit, and I would love to see her get everything together and maybe find a good partner.
Yeah.
And, not all these crazy partners that she's found in the past. But yeah, I mean, it would be great. It would be great to see her do well.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't even know what that would look like, her doing well.
No,
don't either.
I don't
Yeah.
either. I mean, she's very cultured. She's been around the world.
absolutely.
I feel like maybe there's something she can do.
She could maybe open up like an organic shop or
that'd be
something.
cool.
I could see her being like a juice girl. Like you come in,
pressed juice.
here's a shot of
Sure.
wheatgrass,
Done.
here's some carrot juice, here's your kale and spinach, and then like
Totally.
namaste.
You know what I could also see? Her running a grow op. Can't you see that?
Yeah.
A little Savages ode, don't you think? The movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the
gosh,
Blake
that could be
Lively
good.
character in Savages.
Or she
It's
could
totally
date.
her.
I could
Yeah.
see her dating like 2 people at once, like having like a 3. Like that's a thing now. People are
like
having
polyamorous
No,
relationship.
they're like ethical.
It's very New York, right?
something.
Super New York.
Yeah.
Super New York.
Oh, but speaking of like Jessa and like what she would do, I was actually reading an article in Elle magazine, and they broke down like which fragrances each of the girl characters would be.
Oh, funny.
It was really funny, and Jessa's was like high wildflower rockers, and I was just like, no, she would be like
Patchouli.
patchouli.
Yes, right?
I was like, why? He was like, you missed it. You missed it. And Hannah's, she was Elizabeth and James Nirvana White, and I was like, absolutely, because I love the Olsens. Shout out to Mary Kate and Ashley. And there's like 2 sides to that perfume, and there's like totally 2 sides to Hannah. Like her totally
sure.
neurotic
Oh, yeah.
OCD, and
Yeah.
then she like has it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
good job, Elle magazine.
And so, you guys, for the next thing we're going to talk about is the parents. The parents we saw. We've never seen Shoshana's parents before. We saw them for the first time, and wow, it all makes sense,
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Everything makes sense now. What do you think about her parents, Al?
Well, she's super high strung, and I think now we know why. Her parents put me on eggshells. Even watching them, I felt super uncomfortable.
Gave me anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine growing up in something like that would be just make you lose your mind a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell why she always wants to be so perfect, because a lot of children who've gone through divorce, they feel like it's their fault or if they did something wrong or right. So she's like, if I do everything perfectly by the book and follow the rules, everything will be okay, life will be great.
Right.
And then you realize that's absolutely not the way it works and not how it goes. And they don't even pay attention to her. Like she's just sort of like standing there and they're like screaming at each other
Yeah.
about her, and they're not even talking to her.
Right.
So you kind of see like how she kind of went off the deep end and all that other stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, poor Shoshi, I'm
know.
gonna give you a hug. We can be biffs.
And it's funny, they all a lot of them have overbearing parents, and like even like
Yeah.
Hannah. I mean, and none of us can relate to that. No,
No.
and as much as we love
Never.
our parents, no, I love my parents. But yeah, no, they're very overbearing, and it's very much our generation for the
Right.
parents to be that way, and it's something everyone can relate to. But very loving in the same way. I mean, and Marnie's mom, we
Yeah.
saw. We've seen her before,
We've seen her
but
before.
she's
Midlife
very
crisis.
much very
Yeah.
Whoa,
Living
yes.
vicariously through Marnie.
Absolutely.
Like 100%.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, do you want some powder? And Marnie's like, we don't have the same shade.
well, I mean, and we saw that she's hooking up with younger men. The mom is, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
she's
Yeah.
very much. You can see how Marnie is the way she is too, and it's cool to see.
I love that
Yeah.
they
See the different
include the
parents.
parents.
It's
too.
great, and it's so perfect and spot on.
It
Right?
gives them context.
Exactly.
Of like, oh, this is why you're like this, because your parents are crazy too.
Yeah.
And like they're perfectly cast. Like I love that Rita Wilson
So
is
good.
Marnie's
perfect.
mom.
It's
It's like
so
it's
perfect.
perfect.
That is so
It's
good.
perfectly cast.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys, we have to go to a quick commercial break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Girls After Show on the stream.tv. I'm Allie G. I'm here with Candy and Allie. We are back to answer your fan questions. Shout out to George Awell for joining the conversation on YouTube. You guys, get with it. Join the conversation. The first fan question we have is from Jessica Malorty at Macon Tadifis. Interesting. Interesting name. Before the premiere tonight, I'd like to put money on Hannah quitting her MFA program by the end of the season. # Girls HBO. What do you guys think?
I hope so. I want her back in New York.
I know.
Yeah,
I do too.
She's totally gonna quit, and then she's gonna be back in New York, hopefully working on a book
Yeah,
or doing something else crazy. Maybe like a vlog.
A vlog? Ooh.
That could be cool for her.
That could be cool for her.
I feel like
I
she
could
could
see
have
that.
she could definitely have a like popular.
A really cool popular vlog.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I always subscribe.
well,
100%.
come on.
I mean, hello.
Hannah Horvath.
Not a question.
She has a brilliant mind. It might be a little skewed, but I love it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, she's gonna be back in New York in 2 seconds.
Exactly. I just can't see girls going to Iowa.
I can't either.
I've never been there, but I mean, I'm sure it's great, but I just can't see her there for 2 years, however long her grad program would be, and having this show go on as well as it has. I think something's going to happen, and she's going to go right back to New York.
Yes.
Or at least I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, I think she's going to bring way too much spice to Iowa, and I don't think they're going to be able to handle it. I think I think it's going to be too much for them, and I think she's going to feel kind of alone there. I think she's going to feel very alone there. She's not made for that.
Actually, 2 things. One, I actually don't think she'll feel alone there. I think she might find her groove, but something will bring her back to New York. I actually think there'll be like a catalyst for her to come back. And then when you said bringing the spice, can we discuss Natasha Lyonne tonight?
Oh my God!
Like that's kind of epic.
That's true.
Natasha Lyonne made a guest star cameo from Orange
Totally
is the New
true.
Black, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Natasha.
Natasha.
Love her. Love her.
Yeah.
So the next fan question from LTD Fangirl at AH_Suki. I know she's young. But Shoshana wanting Ray back is so selfish. # Girls HBO. # Marnie.
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 I like that.
Oh, Suki now.
What do you guys think? Do you think that's selfish?
I don't think it's selfish. I think that's just the way it goes. Like you're in a relationship with someone, you kind of get in your head, you might freak out, and then you realize, no, I actually want you back.
100%.
It's not selfish, it's self-aware, and they're totally gonna get back together, and I can't wait.
Right. I would say, was it selfish when he slept with Marnie, one of her best friends?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Let's go there first.
That was selfish.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you. You know, you rekindle things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it'll work. I like it. Not selfish.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I
Selfishly,
agree.
go get your man back.
I think they're actually like that's some of the least selfishness I've seen, like amongst the characters. Like that,
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh, yeah.
she's selfish for wanting Ray back. I mean,
Right.
they are perfect together.
Yeah.
And I think she's realizing that. You
Right,
know?
yeah.
They're both totally neurotic, and they
Totally.
work.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen all the way with that
Yeah.
relationship. Absolutely.
I think Lena really thought of Woody Allen when she cast
Absolutely. She has a very, I mean, Judd Apatow is the executive producer on the show who did Freaks and Geeks. He's phenomenal at comedy. And he has this niche of just awkward characters. So when he found Lena Dunham, I think it was just magic and a total ode to Woody Allen. So,
absolutely.
Love. Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, no, they're so cute together. I'm really stoked to see what.
I'm telling you.
Do you guys want a spoiler alert? I'll totally tell you.
No.
If you haven't seen it yet. So speaking of Judd Apatow, so his teenage daughter with Leslie Mann will be making a cameo on Girls this season.
I'm so
So we have to
excited.
stay tuned. It'll be really, really fun. I
Those
know.
girls are so cute.
They're awesome.
They're
So
natural
that's gonna
little
be
actresses.
So exciting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And speaking of cameos, I was watching Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And Patrick Wilson was on it. And the #1 question he got was, "Are you going to be back on Girls?"
I know.
And I was like, "Can you please be back on Girls? Because Hannah needs you, and so do I, Patrick Wilson."
Yeah.
We were just
Patrick
talking
Wilson,
today how much we
come
loved
back to
him.
Girls, please.
Yeah.
Come back, Patrick.
Come back.
I don't see it happening.
No, let's get somebody else cool. Someone cool back, like, or someone cool that's new, that's exciting.
A new
New
person, yes.
person.
So for the next fan question, expert viewer at Expert Viewer TV couldn't be friends with Marnie at Girls HBO, #Girls, #Girls HBO. I couldn't friend any of them. Well, okay. let's
I like
talk
this
about
question. This might be my favorite question.
This is the best question.
Yeah.
Couldn't be friends with Marnie. Candy, could you be friends with Marnie?
No, because if she did it to one friend, she'll do it to you. So it's like only a matter of time.
Right.
But I wish her the best. I would totally come to her gig. Like I would totally come support. But I can have her on my boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Sorry.
true. Al, what do you think?
She's a little too controlling for my taste. She's, you know, when they went on that Hamptons trip last season,
Oh my gosh.
she would not allow anybody to have fun because of her plan to have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She just gets in her own way. She's too controlling. Not to mention the fact if I had a boyfriend, no thank you, she would never come around.
Exactly.
And I say, I still love Marnie, guys. So I would totally be friends with Marnie. I would keep her in check. I would definitely keep her in check. But yeah, I still adore her, even though she makes awful decisions. And I would just not let her around my boyfriend.
Good call. Good call.
And
Unanimous decision there.
Exactly.
and that's it for today, you guys. So all our fans out there, go ahead and subscribe at thestream.tv. And we will see you next week. Please keep with the conversation. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.